Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Crucible League 3.21. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys a one craft, the Animate Guardian addition to our build, and some build upgrades, build updates. So stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoy. To get us started, we'll show you this. So you can search for minions have increased crit strike chance. This is how I started the wand, and then I did fractured, and then I did 100, so it's T1, and then I did convoking wand, so it's a convoking wand base, and then I did 84 because I wanted to be able to hit the T1 minion damage, and then you could also make sure you avoid these bad trees of reduced attack speed, maybe get a blank one, and then there's 101 to all the way to like 109, so I had a 104 and it was like 10C, and so this is how I did it.
Oh! Guys, this is it. Are you ready? Wait. Corroded, metallic, shuddering, jagged. No, don't link it to me right now, right before. Oh my, how the have this? Give it to me. No one's looking. Five C? What the fuck is that? Oh my god! I needed that aggressive wand. I knew it, dude. I told you that was it. Oh my god.
So we have just a grave bind, just a relentless fury, but it's double corrupted for AoE attack speed. Don't need it, just AoE is cool, but we got these as extra. And then this is explode T2, it's the lowest roll, but we have it as 20% perfect rolled, and then it has extra cold and fire. We get the extra lightning through the helmet and the boot, have the chaos from the glove and the boot, and then have life regenerate, and then we have nearby enemies take 9% increased fizz. We have the explode implicit synthesis weapon, and it's bleed with double damage, so we have a bleed AG, and then he's onslaughting and going crazy and culling. Yeah. 30 move speed. Big. So no curse yet. Alright, let's see how this goes. There he is. Absolutely beautiful. So just as a recap for the Animate Guardian, I pretty much wanted to get 55 chaos res in his gear. So there was like 28 in the glove, so then I needed 27 somewhere else, so that he could get to 75 without any of my build, so that I could pretty much use him and he's safe, because I don't have the Grave Intentions, for example, and I'm not using like I don't have the Chaos Res on my minions, I don't have the Dread March, so there's the Chaos Res, and then I like to over LE res cap him, so I gave him an extra like 40 through the gear, 40 something, so he's safe to LE weakness, the curse and other curses, and exposure. And then I got the culling, and I got the onslaught, and using that weapon I get the culling with the relentless fury, and I get the 9% more damage basically with the helmet, which is really sick. And we could have had a curse glove, but it was expensive to, or there was no vulnerability gravebind yet, and there was 20C for the base, so yep. And then a Kingmaker was like 2.6 divs. I didn't realize it was kind of affordable, but I just went with the explode weapon so that instead of just 20% explode from the chestplate, we're at 35%. And then I've actually changed it so I don't have the hungry loop yet, but really there's a lot of stuff we can't run yet, so we have a lot of room in the build in gem sockets. So let me put this into perspective. So I have increased AoE, minion life, AG, and MIM. So like obviously the hungry loop would save me a bunch of sockets, but technically I already have this. So my AG is doing extra damage, has the extra life, and he has the extra AoE. And he's 106,000 life. And then I just have the Spectre, Chaos Golem, Stone Golem, yeah. Spectre for the debuff, 60% increased fizz damage. So yeah, I ended up I made sure to have a 21 Animate Guardian linking it with minion life, and then I'm in my offhand. We're leveling up the alt quality Animate Guardian, the anomalous for the AoE. We're gonna have this soon, and then we're gonna be able to corrupt, and hopefully we hit a 21-20, and then I'll have the extra 60 AoE that we could then use ashes with if we want to. But for now, just no quality 21. And I have this for extra AoE 49, and we have the minion AoE node, and we have like if you look here, we have 30 AoE, and we have some AoE on the gear. I had like 19 AoE on that Relentless Fury through the corruption, which was really sick. You don't need the exact same corruptions, but that was a good one, and the attack speed was fine. I forgot to switch my stuff. I unsummoned all. No. Rest in peace, dude. Now I want to include crafting of my small cluster jewel. I made a small cluster jewel for Reservation. It's pretty important because now I don't need to run potentially the deep thoughts for the mana and the Reservation, and I can just run that. And it's really powerful, so I kind of want to show how I did it because it's mostly the base and the crafting is really easy. So yeah, and then I wanted to show what I was able to. Also, now to find the small cluster jewels, so what I would do is I like to do small cluster and then come to the bottom and just do the basic one. And then when you search here, I would add the search so it filters by the stuff that is on the item and then adds it to the list so you don't have to type all this stuff. And then you can just filter by Reservation and add 3 as the size. And then you need the base to be 84 so you can roll the increased effect 35. And then, oh yeah, there's only one more thing. Not corrupted, and then you're good. So then you have, yeah, 83 results. You can see 3 div, 3.5, to 4. This is actually a good price. This 3 div one, I might grab it, so I have another one. That's actually pretty good. And, yeah, this happens every now and then. You know, you just snipe while you're price checking for, yeah, and then, the crafting was, as I showed, just literally using alterations, and you don't really want notables on this because of the 3 passive. If you were to do a notable small cluster Reservation, it's a 2 passive, because you wouldn't have the increase effect because you're not taking all the small notables, small points. You're taking a notable which doesn't get the increased effect. The increased effect only applies to the smalls, so you would have a 2 passive. This is a 3 going for the increased effect 35. Yeah, I might craft this and then, well, if it's interesting, I might put in the video too. But that's how you buy the... Oh, and then I wanted to show this because it's pretty important. So, the augment I hit from the Dex T1 with the increased effect after, it was 300 of 9,800. So, I'll give you that in a second. You had about a 3% chance. So this is like 33 tries you would have to do that. And I got it on the first try of an augment on the T1 Dex. So what I just did was super lucky, and my cluster's insane to start it off like that. And then I could even, now I could fracture that cluster in theory, because it already has, if I like had the as 14 decks, for example, then when you fracture, you have two perfect mods that you could hit, so it's a 50-50, and even if you miss, you just have this jewel anyways. You probably wouldn't recraft this. It's not worth it. It's just better to try to fracture it, I guess. And if I hit it, then I could recraft it into something even better, or just be worth a lot because I hit the fracture. That'd be insane. So then, yeah, I just wanted to put it out there that that was actually really lucky, and that you shouldn't expect to get it like that easily with that little alterations. All right, so then, yeah, we have this, and it gave me all that dex. So per point, it's 17 dex, and then the 24 reservation. So this is like the charisma wheel, and then I also anointed charisma instead of using fearsome force. So I have the extra reservation, and then I just moved the quickening covenant to over here because it doesn't kill any nodes because it converts to notables. So I just don't have any notables allocated over here, and then yeah, we get the reservation and the dex. So then I was able to take out that jewel for the dex, and then we're at 169. So I could now start to think about running like haste and grace and these bigger auras that I want to run. Also, just in general, getting more reservation. We could rerun this to have extra. I've tried just these two, and I get to like 5 mana, so it's not enough if I try to run everything. And I can't run precision then, so there's some trade-offs, and we need more. We would need more reservation than just this. But for like this is so powerful because it's the amount of decks I get, and the reservation, and then the extra life, and that you could get other stuff too instead of the life. But I was going for mainly dex and then the reservation from the base, and then extra mods that get the increased effect. It's so powerful because then you take all the points, and this is just so strong. Alright, then to finish off the upgrades, I looked for a boot, and I got, I went for T1 Chaos, so 31 Chaos, and I went for 40 of the reses of either lightning, cold, or fire, and I wanted full suffixes, and I went for 70 life plus 30 30 move speed. So people craft this shit with ROG, and because it is an armor evasion base, I guess they didn't care, and it's kind of a bad base. It's not the best base, but then this was pretty cheap, and it gets me a ton of res in the chaos res, so I was able to fit a bone ring into the build without needing that unset ring. And then we also have the gem socket save because I took out the skeleton. So here we gain minion damage 30. So I went for minion damage, move speed, and attack speed, and then open prefix for crafting life. I didn't need them. The minion LE res comes from the implicit, so we're good, and we have 1 jewel for this. And then I get the extra minion damage, and then here's extra move speed, which is nice for zombies to help them move around faster. And then we have the attack speed and damage, and life. So nice ring, and I was able to fit it in, and my reses are okay. I kind of want more overcap, and then 75 chaos. And then we have quickening here, so it doesn't kill any notables. We don't use any. And then I have this jewel socket open, so we didn't need the minion LE res on the jewel now, so I got this one. And I wanted taunt, life, attack speed, maybe some fizz damage, and I found a 6 mod that also had minion chaos res. So I was like, okay, this is gross. So I bought it, and I put it in the build. This is some extra minion chaos res. It's actually pretty nice since I don't have any right now. So it takes them from 20 to 30 with this jewel. Pretty nice. But those are all the upgrades we've made. So like we have a really nice glove now, and a really nice boot, which makes it way easier to build around. And I rolled the Eldritch Influence these lesser eldritch ember and ichor to hit cooldown recovery rate of travel skills, because I want my phase run to be permanent. So now it's 3.45 cooldown with a 3.56 duration, and that's just from 20 increased duration with an efficacy support on a phase run, and then having the boot implicit gets me to have that infinite phase run for the infinite stealth, which is huge for my survivability and for the phasing, and to where I could actually take quartz flask out and go like full Ellie flask, which would really help my survivability, except for obviously losing a granite. But we're up to 10.6k armor without the flask, and with the flask 19k, so that's pretty nice too. And that's where our build has gotten to for now. Now I'd like to thank my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thank you guys so much for the support. Rico549, David, Stephen with a PH, Stephen with a V, Cynic, Hannes, Lewis, Nicholas, White Wolf, and N8. Thank you guys so much for the support. Bye!